additional questions for making a plan. Make a plan. What does the information in this section create a family communication plan support? F. Emergency alert communication systems are available in all towns. G. Local communication systems might be unreliable during the emergency. H. Children have different communication needs that adults do in an emergency. J. Families should create different communication plan for each type of an emergency. Look back at your message and your passage and find the information. Number 9. Which sentence from the selection best explains why one disaster preparation plan will not work for all? That means for all emergencies because they're all different. A. Planning what to do before disaster strikes provides the best protection for you and your family. B. Because you and your family may not be together when the disaster happens, it is important to create a communication plan to help you and your loved ones connect and get help. C. Before creating your disaster plan, it is important to know what type of emergencies are likely in your area and the best way to respond. D. Show each family member how and when to turn off the water, gas, and electricity at the main switches. Number 10. Organizing information in bulleted list allows an author to do blank. F. Present safety tips for the most important to the least important. G. Include details that write to the topic but do not support the main idea. H. Illustrate the order of steps to take in several different emergency situations. J. Share individual but related pieces of information to easy to reference format. Number 11. The Latin root word vacus means empty, helps the reader understand that the word evacuate in paragraph 3 means A. Get out of, B. Leave open, C. Go back to, or D. Make hollow. Number 12. The author most likely included this section additional ways to prepare in order to blank. F. Share other tips that do not fit under other section headings. G. Remind readers that there are endless steps to take to prepare for emergencies. H. Give options to readers who prefer not to follow the advice in the other sections. J. Provide a separate list of disaster readiness tips for adults only to follow. Number 13. Which of these ideas is reinforced throughout the selection? Give each family member a contact card with important phone numbers on it. B. Use the service of local emergency management resources to create a plan. C. Make sure all family members know how to send messages. D. Create a box of emergency supplies and keep items up to date. Number 14. Now this is the one that your teacher in 7th grade, Miss Gray, has said to use cars when you do this number 14. Because it's a summary question. What is the best summary of this section? Create a family communication plan. Because you and your family may not be together when a disaster hits, you should create a communication plan to help you and your loved ones connect and get help. Complete a contact card for each family member and keep these cards handy in your wallet, purse, or backpack. You should also have an out-of-town contact, know how to text, and know how to dial 911. G. When a disaster strikes, you and your family members might have trouble communicating with one another, so it is a good idea to prepare a contact list ahead of time. For example, you should include the numbers of friends and family as well as fire, police, and ambulance services. H. When making an emergency communication plan, be sure to write important numbers down and keep them with you at all times. Choose an out-of-town contact who can coordinate messages amongst separated family members. And be sure everyone can use text messaging, which can work better than phone calls during an emergency. Finally, understand how to use local resources like alert systems and emergency systems. J. One important step in preparing for a disaster in your town is making a list of important phone numbers. For example, you should write down numbers for your family members and out-of-town family members, a friend, local emergency services. You should also learn the safest ways out of your house and the safest in your neighborhood places. It also is important that everyone knows how to text. Number 15. Which detail from the selection best explains why an emergency communication plan should include an out-of-town contact? A. Local phone lines might be jammed in an emergency. B. Text messaging often is more successful than a phone call. C. Different locations might be affected by different types of emergencies. D. Nearby emergency shelters might be full or might not accept pets. Number 16, last one. Read these sentences from the selection. Practice your plan by quizzing your kids periodically and conduct fire and other emergency drills. Check if you have adequate insurance coverage to cover possible flooding or structural damage to your home and property. Based on these sentences, the reader can conclude that the author probably blank. F. Learned how to prepare for a disaster by surviving one. G. Works for a company that provides disaster insurance. H. Believes that fire is the most dangerous emergency. Or J. Wrote the selection with an adult audience in mind.